We can start it. Class. Everyone able to hear my voice or not? Can you please confirm in the chat itself? Okay. Okay. So first we need to first of all, I will introduce myself. Okay. And first of all, thanks for joining this webinar. This is a workshop for 2 hours. It will be there. And completely overview of each and everything, what topics will be there in the Power BI and everything that we need to discuss it. Okay. So first of all, I will introduce myself. Okay. My name is Vijay Rama Raju. And in this IT industry, I have like 10 years experience. In the teaching field, I have like 5 years experience in this one. Okay. I have multiple skills like Power BI, SQL Server, Power Apps, SSR, SSIS. Okay. And all these things will be there. So right now I'm teaching Power BI and SQL Server. Okay. So today I will teach you as a Power BI, and maybe in the next week itself SQL Server will be there. Okay. So this is about myself. Okay. So next we need to continue the class. That means see this Power BI. Power BI is nothing but it is a reporting tool. Okay. So why the reporting tool is the came to the picture means, first of all, what is a reporting tool? Reporting tool is nothing but what data we are getting into this one. With the data, we can represent in the pictorial format. What data we have it, with the data, we can represent in the pictorial format, that it is called as reporting tools. Why business users are most of the times they are interacting with this reporting tools? Because by seeing, if I write some matter in the book itself, how many people are reading? Very less people are reading. Okay. But if I same matter I've showed in the image itself, everyone will understand it, right? So by seeing that, okay, by seeing the image itself, we can easily within fraction of seconds understand how the business flow is going on. So that's the reason reporting tool is introduced. Reporting tool is came to the picture. Okay. And so everyone is going, that means everyone is trying to, some people are not interested in the coding part. Some people are interested in the coding part. Okay. This says these, not only this reporting tool, any reporting tools are less coding part will be there. Less coding part means almost no coding part will be there. Just you have to remember the options. With the option, what you have to do, you have to implement that one and represent the data in the pictorial format. That's it. Okay. But options are also, one second. Hello. Hello. Sorry. So in this reporting tool itself, okay, so actually there are in the market there are so many reporting tools will be there, like Power BI is the reporting tool, SSRS is the reporting tool, Cognos is the reporting tool, and Tableau is the reporting tool, ClickView is the report. There are so many reporting tools are in all the reporting tools itself. Nowadays everyone, that means most of the people is using Power BI only, because it is completely free to develop it, Power BI desktop, and easy to understand, easy to implement the things in Power BI. So others are also easy only, but the thing is there are more options are there to implement so few other options. Okay, and one more thing is there we need to purchase, it's not free versions will be there, but here in Power BI desktop, it is completely free to develop any type of report, anything. All the options are enabled, and in one screen itself, each and every option is available, and we can easily understand those things. Understand? So that means this Power BI introduced by Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft only built this Power BI, and this will came to the picture in the year of 2013. Okay, before the 2013, what reporting tool used in Microsoft? That means it is SSRS is the reporting tool. Okay, in SSRS is also reporting tool, that means SQL Server reporting services. Okay, so in that that is also a reporting tool. In that there are so many drawbacks are there. That's the reason so many business users are complaining on that one, because it's very difficult to do some other operations. So that's the reason Microsoft introduced a new reporting tool that it is called as Power BI. Okay, in SSRS, what are the drawbacks is there? There are so many drawbacks will be there. Like suppose, for example, if you want to use more and custom visuals or anything, that it is not available in SSRS. Only the default visuals up to 10 to 15 visuals only it is there. Every time you have to use that particular visual only. Every time we need to use those visuals only. Okay, if the client want to see the data in a different visual, there is no visual is available. If we cannot import any other custom visual into the SSRS though. Okay, this is a one drawback. Understand? Another important drawback is another drawback is connecting to the data sources is the problem here. That means if you want to connect to the data sources, different data, suppose my data is available in Azure. Okay, I want to connect to the Azure and load the data into the SSRS, means it is not possible. Directly, it is not possible. First, they need to load, that means they need to download the data in the Excel, from the Excel to SQL Server, from the SQL Server to SSRS, because in SSRS having two data sources only we are using, either SQL or Oracle. Only these two data sources only is available. Okay, so that's the reason wherever the data source is there, they need to load the data into the Excel, from the Excel to SQL Server, SQL Server to SSRS. That means while loading the data into SSRS, they need to use the intermediate tools. Okay, they need to use intermediate tools. That's the reason this is another drawback. Okay, means for connecting to any of the data sources other than SQL Server and Oracle, they are facing so many problems into that one. Okay, that is the one. Dynamic things is also not possible in Power BI in SSRS. Okay, so that is another drawback. Another one is, so by seeing all these things, and look and feel is also not good in SSRS. Okay, by seeing that we cannot see like it is a good report and everything. Look and feel is also not at all good in SSRS. So by seeing all this, business users are complaining to the Microsoft team, like saying that, so these are the problems we are facing, that try to avoid and create a new tool which is similar to that one, and we can buy in that tool itself. So most of the time business users are very interactive with the Excel versions. Okay, that means they can easily interact with Excel. They can write the formulas in the Excel itself. They are loading the data in the Excel itself. They are doing the calculations, like how much profits are getting, how much loss are getting. They can, because the business, most of the business users are very easy to interact with Excel itself. Okay, the business users are saying that similar like Excel, okay, like other than the Excel, some more features like connecting with the data sources and visualizations, more interactive with visualization, like that they are expecting. So that's the reason Microsoft team, the same SSRS team, will build a new reporting tool. That reporting tool, we can call it as Power BI. Okay, Power BI is nothing but a reporting tool. And this reporting tool, what are the drawbacks are there in the SSRS? Those are the advantages here itself. What suppose, for example, some people are that means some people are having more experience in Excel itself. Who are having more experience in Excel, they are very easy to understand Power BI. That means if you don't know the Excel also, don't worry, because here itself we can discuss each and every topic here. Understand or not? Okay, let's go to the topic. So Power BI desktop is completely free to develop it. Okay, so that part you can download it and install that one, and you can, all the options are available at it itself. And that particular Power BI desktop software, you have to install either in a Windows application. On Windows application only, in Windows application only, we have to download and we can install it. Okay, so this Power BI software will works on Windows application only. And one more thing is 8 GB RAM must and should required. Okay, 8 GB RAM is required for that particular desktop or anything. Understand? Either desktop or laptop, a minimum 8 GB. If SSD is also there, means that is also no problem. Understand clearly? So don't worry. I will give at the end of the class, I will share the documentation to you. You have to go through the documentation for installing, downloading, where you can do everything. My documentation is very clear to each and every one. Okay, so whatever the classes will happen, with the classes, the screenshot, the things are very clear, like see here. Okay, this is the documentation. Okay, this is the documentation will be there for complete Power BI, and each and everything, the screenshot with explanation, everything is available. Okay, so at the end of this session, I will give you some sample document for installation, how you need to download and install, and how you to do all these things. That document I will share it to you. Okay, so you can go through it and see. Even if you are not attending the classes also, regular classes also, by seeing the documents, you will understand clearly. Understand? So if I want to open a Power BI desktop, means after installing the Power BI desktop, you have to go to the Windows application. There you can type like Power BI desktop. This is the software, you have to open it, and you can create your reports in this software only. Okay, click on this one. Once you click on this one, you can close this window. This window is not required. I will tell you where this window is required and everything. So this is, see, this is how the Power BI will look like this. This is how the Power BI will look like this. Okay. The main 4 topics will be there. In Power BI, the 4 main topics will be there. One is transform data. Another one is DAX functions. Another one is model part. Another one is visualization part. Final one is service level. There are 5 topics will be there in complete Power BI. Okay, one by one we can discuss it. Okay, this is how the Power BI will look like this. And that means in this, on the top you will see the different options, different tabs, right? Those we can call it as ribbons. Okay, in each ribbon having a different options will be there. Each option will behave different things. Understand? So, and next one is in the left pan you will see left pan, there are 3 options will be there: report, data, and modeling. Okay, this is a report tab. In this report tab itself, you can create your report. Okay, you can create your report. In this report tab only, you can create your report by using different visualization. Okay, whatever visuals you want to use it, you can use it. With your own data, you can represent the data in the visual format in the report. Okay, so next one is data tab. That means what is data tab will do? That means whatever data we are loading into Power BI, with the data, you can see it in the table format. Okay, let's see how it will works. So first of all, we need to load the sample data. For sample data, you no need to worry about that one, because Microsoft will provide a sample data set to you. Okay, how can I use the sample data set? Means, see, after opening for the first time only, there a sample data set is available. That's the reason whenever you open any new Power BI file itself, in the center part itself, there is a try a sample data set is there, right? You have to click on that one. For the first time only it is available. Okay, after doing some modification, again I want to load the sample data, means directly that this option is not available. Understand clearly? Okay, next one is when you click on try a sample data set, Microsoft will provide a sample data set. You have to load that particular sample data into Power BI desktop. Click on load sample data. In this, okay, in this, what data set you want, you can select that particular one, click on load. Once you click on load, that particular data set is loaded into Power BI. That means, see, without writing a single line of code, we can load that particular data. Any data set we can do like this only. Just you need to select that one. You have to give the credentials and that particular data will be loaded into Power BI. Without writing a single line of code, we can load the data into Power BI. Understand? Whatever data sets we are loaded into Power BI, those are available under data tab itself. Those are available under data tab itself. Under the data tab, not only one data set, there are a number of data sets are available here. Whichever data, see, first of all, you will see the data set name here itself. And if you expand this particular data set, under the data set, what columns are there, you can see it here itself. Understand? But if you want to see that columns data, means must and should you need to go to the data tab itself. Okay, in the data tab, what data set you are selected? In the right side, there is a data tab is there, right? In the what data set you are selected, that data set related data, you can see it in the table format in the data tab. Vijay, I have a doubt here. Can we see the multiple data sets data in a table format once at a time? Is it possible? No. one table only we can see the table format. That means once at a time you have to select only one data set. Understand which data set you are selecting here? That data set related to data, you can see it in the table format. That it is about data tab. Understand? Next one is modeling. What is modeling will do here? Modeling means providing a relationship between the data set. Why model is required? Let's see. Practically, I will show you. Okay. So I need to load another data set and we'll see. Suppose I'm loading this data here itself. Okay. See, in model, what we can do it in the model? We can provide a relationship between the data set. Why we need to provide a relationship? Because in this report tab, if you want to represent any column data in the visual, if you create a visual with one data set column, that is fine. Relationship is not required. But sometimes what you have to do while creating a visual, you have to take the different column from different data sets, right? So at that time, suppose for example, I'm using a table here. So what I'm doing here, it is table means in this, I'm taking a country column here itself. In this is a visual. In this visual, I'm taking a country column here and COGS column here and sales column here itself. Okay, see here, that means, so see here, that means while you are creating this visual, you are taking all the column from one data set only. Okay, then at that time, for that particular Canada, what COGS value is there, what sales value is there, individually it will clearly shows that value. Okay, but if you create this visual with different column from different data set, then what will happen? Let's see. Suppose I'm taking a country column from orders related thing. What will happen? See here, it will shows the total values of that particular value, not individual value. It is not showing. Then what we need to do? So suppose, for example, if sometimes in the visualization, it will shows an error also. Okay, that means if you take from different column from different data set, okay, while you are creating a visual from different column from different data set, must and should in between those data set relationship is required. If relationship is not there, sometimes it will shows an error. That visually it will shows an error, or else sometimes it is not showing a proper data into that one. Suppose, for example, there is another data is there. You load, then you will understand. Suppose, for example, country. See here, the relationship is not there in between these two data sets. Okay, actually in the orders table, only one country value is there. That's the reason I need to take more country values, and I will show you with example, then only you will understand it. Okay, suppose for example, see here in this, instead of taking a country column from here, I need to take the country column from table 1. Okay, see here. What will happen? See, for Canada, the total value it will show, not individual value. Okay, not individual value. If the same column, the country column, if you take it from the financial, that means if you create this visual with only one data set column, see, it will shows the proper value. For Canada, this is the COGS and this is the sales. For France, this is the COGS and this is the sales. Proper values, it will shows it. But if you take the column, country column from different data set, that means while creating this visual, if you take from different column from different data set, immediately, that means in between those data set, must and should relationship must and should be there. Otherwise, it will show the total value, or else sometimes it will throw an error also. Understand? So suppose that's the reason. So for this reason, in model, we can provide a relationship between the tables. So how can we provide a relationship between the data set? With common column values. With common column values, we need to provide a relationship between the data set. What is a common column? Means whichever columns having similar values in between the tables, whichever column having similar values is there, those we can call it as common column. Here I can treat it as a common column as country column here, and here in this table country column is the common column here, and we need to provide a relationship by drag and drop. Now if you go here, then if I'm taking a country column from different data sets, see here, now by drag and drop, see, it is showing. That means, see here, I'm creating this visual, taking from country column from one data set, financials and sales columns I'm taking from different data set. While you are taking a different column from different data set, in model, relationship must and should required. Understand? Like this we can do it. Is it clear or not? Okay, so another one is, if you suppose, for example, you are loading the data into Power BI. You are loading the data into Power BI. After loading the data into Power BI, you need to do some modifications on the Power BI side. You need to do some modifications on the Power BI side. If you want to do modifications on the Power BI side, then what you have to do is you have to go to the transform data. That means, suppose, for example, what modifications I need to do. Suppose, for example, in the data source, I have 10 columns out there. Okay. For this particular report, I required only 5 columns is enough, right? Remaining 5 columns is not required to be, not required. Then what we can do? We cannot delete remaining 5 columns in the data source, right? We cannot do that one, because maybe those 10 columns are used in another report. But in this report, you have to take only 5 columns. 5 columns is enough. Remaining 5 columns, what we can do? We can delete it here. That means those we can call it as modifications. If after loading the data in the Power BI, if you want to do any modifications on the Power BI, you have to go to the transform tab, transform data, and there itself you can do the modifications. There are n number of options is there. Okay, so suppose, for example, modifications mean removing columns, replacing values, changing the data type, and applying the merge queries, applying the append queries. If you want to create the custom column, okay, if you want to use generate the column with different options and everything, you can those options are available in the transform data only. Okay, so where the transform data is there, on the top you will see the transform data. Understand? When you click on this particular transform data, the new window will open. This window, we can call it as transform data window or Power Query editor window or Power Query editor window. Here itself, we can do all the modifications. Here itself, we can do all the modifications in the Power BI side. Okay. Suppose, for example, okay, suppose for example, if from here also we can connect to the data sources. Okay, how we can connect to the data sources means there is an option called a new source option is there. In this new source itself, when you click on more itself, there are n number of data sources are available. That is the biggest advantage in Power BI. See here, there are n number of data sources are available. Okay, whichever data source you want, you just need to type it in this search bar, like Azure, like this. Suppose if I'm typing this one, Azure related all data source will comes it. If I search it like SQL Server related data sources will comes here. Okay, like this. If you want to connect to any data source directly, you can load the data into the Power BI. Means by using this new source only you can use it. Understand? Okay, so next one is if you want to create a table in Power BI. In Power BI by your own, if you want to create a table, that means columns, values, by your own, if you want to create a complete table means you have to use an option called enter data. Okay, in the enter data itself, you can create a column, you can create a row and everything. By clicking on this plus button, you can create a column. By clicking on this plus button, we can create a row. Okay, like this. In this, suppose for example, I'm creating ID here. Okay, so if I want to create any column name means double click on that column name, you can rename the column name. Below that, what values you need to give? Directly, you need to give it here 1, 2, 3, like this. In your keyboard, there is a down arrow, right? By clicking on down arrow, the new row will be inserted. Understand? Suppose, for example, if you want to create a new column means by clicking on this place button, you can create a new column. And here, double click on that, you can give the name of the column and A, B, C. Okay, and here you need to give the name of that particular table and click on OK. Okay, so this is how the table we can create it here by using enter data. Okay, okay, and by using enter data itself, you can create a columns, values, and everything. Understand? The next one is so like this, by using enter data itself, you can create your own table in Power BI. Understand? Suppose, for example, you are connecting to this particular Excel. I want to change that particular source. Suppose it is this particular table is connected to the Excel itself. So that the Excel location is changed. Suppose the location is changed. Suppose previously while you are creating a report, it is in D drive itself, it is there. Now it is changed to F drive. Then that means here also you can change that particular location. That means you can change the path of that particular source. How you can change it means by using data source settings itself, you can change it. By clicking on data source settings, whichever Excel file path you want to change it, you have to select that particular Excel file. Suppose I want to change this one. Select this one. Click on change source. Whenever you click on change source, here it is asking where, in which location your file is there. You have to point it out that particular location path and click on that one. Then that particular table is located to that particular location. Understand? So if you want to change any particular data source, anything means in this data source settings itself, we can do it. Okay. Next one is creating a parameters. That means if you want to, that means dynamically, if you want to run the parameter. Parameter is nothing but at the time of running a report, if you want to run the report, parameter means you have to use this option. Okay, how you can create a parameter and everything when we are discussing with the in the real-time class itself, in regular class itself, it's clearly, it will be there with the different examples. I will explain you. Understand? Another thing is you can refresh the report. The refresh means reloading the data. That means from which data source you are getting the data. Again, if you want to refresh that particular data set, means first you have to select the data set and click on refresh preview. Then automatically that particular data set, from which data source it is getting, it will connect again, it will connect to that particular data source and reload it again here itself. Understand? And next option is, if you want to change the name of the data set, there are multiple options is there. Properties is the option to change the name of the data set. Okay, and another option is also there. Double click on the data set also, you can change the name of the, in the left side you will see the data set names, right? Double click on the data set name, then you can change the name of the data set. Okay, next one is advanced editor. What advanced editor will do? That means if you want to change the path of that particular Excel or anything, okay, suppose for example, I'm connecting to one of the Excel or something. If you want to change any of the data sources in the advanced editor also, we can change it. Previously, I will told you like data source settings, right? Advanced editor is the another option to change. Okay, so if you want to change any Excel path or anything, or if you want to change the table name, or if you want to change the column name, okay, and everything here also you can do it in the table. Understand? Next one is, if you want to delete the data set, if you want to delete any particular data set, then what you have to do, you have to select that particular data set and click on, right click on the data set, you can delete it, or else in the manage there is a delete option is there. You can delete the data set. Whichever data set you are selected, that particular data set only it is deleted. Okay. Next one is duplicate. Duplicate and reference, both are same. That means creating a copy of the data set. Creating the copy of the data set. Suppose if I click on duplicate, then see the same copy of the data set is created. Reference is also doing the same thing. Then what is the difference between those two? Practically, when we are in the regular class itself, we can discuss it. Understand? Next one is choose columns. Which data set you are selected here, that data set, in that particular data set, what columns are available? If you want to choose those columns, that means whichever columns you want it, you can choose those columns. Whichever columns you don't want it, you can uncheck those columns. Okay, whichever columns you are unchecked, those columns will be removed from the data set. Whichever columns you are checked, those columns only we can see it here. Suppose, for example, I'm having a financial data set. If I click on choose columns, then what will happen? See here, see, in the data set, what columns are available? All the columns you can see it. Whichever columns you wanted, you can check those columns, product, and sales column and COGS column. These 4 columns only I wanted. Just check those columns. The remaining columns, uncheck it and click on OK. And whenever you click on OK, then automatically with those columns you can create it. That means in that particular data set, whatever columns you are checked, those columns only you can see it here. Remaining columns will be removed. Like this, we can do it. So I have a doubt, Vijay, here. Suppose if I'm deleting some columns, right? I deleted some columns. Does this reflect to the data source? No. Whatever operation you are doing in Power BI, it will be reflected to the Power BI side only. It won't reflect it to the data source itself. Understand clearly? Like this. Next one is remove columns. So by using this also we can remove the columns. How we can remove the columns means whichever columns you want to remove it, you have to select those columns. How we can select the columns means by clicking on the column header, the gray color it will shows it. Understand clearly? Gray color it will shows it. So that means suppose for example this column you are selected, click on remove column, then whichever column you are selected, that column is removed. Understand clearly? See here, so those columns are removed. Whichever columns I am selected, those columns will be removed. Understand? Suppose can we select multiple columns? Can we remove it? Yes, it is possible. By using Control plus click, you can select multiple columns and you can remove it. Okay. Suppose I select this column and Control plus X on this product column and unit sold. And like this, by using Control plus click, you can select multiple columns and click on remove columns. Then automatically whichever columns you are selected, those columns will be removed. Understand clearly or not? Is it clear or not? Okay. This is how the remove columns option will works. Understand? Next one is keep rows. Keep rows means what is keep rows option will do? That means either in the top or in the bottom, how many rows you want to see it. By using keep rows only, you can click on this one. There is a keep top rows, bottom rows will be there. If I'm using keep top rows, then it is asking how many number of rows you want to remove it. That number you need to give. That means if I'm giving 5 means, that means from the top onward, first to 5 rows only it will be displayed. Remaining rows will be removed. Understand or not? Keep rows means in which data set is there, in the data set, how many number of rows you want to see it. So either in the top or in the bottom, you have to select those options. Here that number you have to give it. Okay, whatever number you are given here, those many records only it will be displayed. Remaining rows are removed. See here on the top, 5 rows only it will show it. Remaining rows are removed. Like this we can use by using keep rows. Okay. Next one is remove rows. It is quite opposite to the keep rows is called as remove rows. Either you want to remove from the top onwards, bottom onwards by using this, you can see if I want to remove top rows and give the number here. Okay, from the top onwards, the first 5 records will be removed. Remaining rows only you can see it. See here. First 5 rows are removed. Remaining rows, whatever it is there, those only it is visible here itself. Understand clearly? This is how remove rows option will be there. Okay. Next one is if you want to sort any particular column. Okay, if you want to sort any particular column means select the column and you can click on this option. Sort means either ascending or descending. Ascending means okay, least value to highest value. Descending means highest value to least value. Okay, so select that particular column and you have to use this option. Or else there is another option is also there. Click on this drop down and click use any of the option. Understand? Sort ascending and descending like this. Understand? Next one is split column. What split column option will do? That means suppose for example, I have an address column is there. With that, in that address column, there are so many things will be there. Door number is there. which state, okay, which district, mandal, everything is available in that particular pin code also available there itself. Suppose you in the address column, I want to extract the particular part into different column. Okay, I want to extract a particular part into different column. I want to extract it. Then you have to use an option called split column. By using split column. But if you want to use a split column means in that column must and should at least one delimiter is required. At least one delimiter is required. What is a delimiter? Delimiter is nothing but except numeric or character values. Except numeric or character value. Other than these, whatever it is available in your keyboard, those we can call it as special characters or delimiters. That means space is also a delimiter. Space, comma, dot, anything. Okay. So other than numeric or character values, whatever it is there in your keyboard, those we can call it as delimiter or special character. That means if you want to apply this option means in that column must and should at least one delimiter is required in each and every cell. Then only this option will works. Understand? Suppose, for example, I have an address column is there. In that, I want to extract the pin code. You can extract it by using, because in that address column, each and every part itself, there is a comma, something space like that you are given, right, in the address column. So based on the delimiter itself, you can split it into multiple columns. Understand clearly or not? Next one is group by option. What is group by option will do? Means if you want to summarize the data, okay, if you want to summarizing the data, then we have to use an option called group by. What is summarizing? Suppose each and every record wise the data is available here itself, but I don't want like this. For each country, what is the total sales? I want to see it. Then see how the group by option will works. Click on group by option. Here, suppose country wise, I want to see the sales. So you have to select the country here, and here the sales calculation, you have to do it here. I want to see for each country. For the suppose, for example, United States of America is there. For United States of America, how many sales are repeating? All the sales, I want to see the total value, single value, I want to see it. For that, you have to use group by. Okay. In that, on which column basis you want to see it? Country column. That's the reason I'm selecting country. Okay. Here, the column, what operation you have to pay? Total means sum. Okay, sum operation you have to perform it. In the operation, you have to select a sum. If anyone is saying country wise, how many number of values are there? If any number of means count. Sum total means sum. Okay, remaining everything they will mention it, average, minimum, maximum, everything mentioned. But for some they are mentioning like total. I want it. Total is nothing but sum. Number of means count. Okay, so here operation you have to select it, and the column name is total, something like this. Okay, and here on which column you need to perform this sum operation, that column you have to select it. That means sales column. Click on OK. Then see what will happen. The country. That means for each value, only one total sales, whatever it is there, all the values it will sum and it will give one result value. For Canada, this is the one. For Germany, this is the one. For France, this is the one. For Mexico, this is the one, like this. Understand clearly or not? This is how you can summarize the data. Understand? Next one is changing the data type. If you want to change the data type of any column means you have to use either this option or else beside of the column, you will see a button here. It is there for each and every column. Beside of the column, there is a one button is there. Click on that button. When you click on that button, you will see all the data types in Power BI. Whichever data type you want to apply it, you can select. What is a data type? First of all, what is a data type? Data type is nothing but what values we can store it in that particular column. What values we can insert into that particular column. This data type will decide it. Understand? Because suppose Vijay, I'm not giving a data type, what will happen? Because these tools, these softwares doesn't understand what data it is and everything. Okay. And if they didn't understand, they didn't do the operations properly. Okay. That's the reason for not only this particular software, for any software, data type is must and should required. With the data type only, that particular tools will understand it. Okay, what data we can insert it, what operation we need to perform on that particular column. Okay, can we perform some operation on the character related column? No, we know it, but how the Power BI knows it? Not only Power BI, any software, how it will knows it? Based on this data type only. That's the reason for each and every tool itself, the data type is must and should required. Understand? So you have to select a proper data type for each and every column. By default, what will happen is after pulling a data into the Power BI, from the data source itself, you are pulling a data into Power BI. After pulling a data into the Power BI will automatically detect the data type. You no need to worry about the data type. How it is detect the data type means based on the column values. Suppose first 15 to 20 for 20 values, whatever it is there in that particular column, based on the values, the data type is automatically assigned. The data type is automatically assigned. If you want to change anything with a different data type, you have to change manually here itself. By clicking on this button, you can change whatever data type you want. And one more important point is character will support any data type. You can convert the numeric value to character. You can convert the decimal value to the character. You can convert the date value to the character. You can convert the other than that means binary values to the character. That means character will support any type of data. But character value cannot be converted into other data types. Suppose, for example, this segment is there. Segment is a character. Character means alphabetical. Whatever alphabetical is there, those we can call it as characters. Or delimiters are also a characters. That's the reason. If any of these two and select the data type to date, can we convert it? No. Can we convert to number? Can we convert to decimal? Can we convert to dime? No, we cannot do it. But if see here, there is a decimal value is there. This is a decimal data type. How can I say? Means 1.2. 1.2, what is that one? Decimal number. Okay. So can we convert this decimal number to character? Yes. See here, select this one and click on text. Text means like this. Understand? See, it will be converted into character data type. That means you can convert any data type column into character one. Understand clearly or not? So this is how we can change the data type. Next one is use first row as header. Means if any first row will be whatever the first row is there in the header as head, I want to convert into column headers. You have to use an option called use first row as headers. Okay, click on this one. then first row values will be converted into header. See here. Understand or not? Okay. Another option is also there. Use headers as first row. Whenever whatever headers are there, that it will be converted into first row itself. Okay. After converting into first row itself, then automatically the column names will given like column 1, column 2, column 3. These are the default columns. Whenever you are applying use headers as first row option, the headers will be converted into first row. After that, the header names is the default columns will be assigned to that one. Like default columns is column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, like that. Understand clearly or not? Okay. Next one is replace values. What is replace value? If you want to replace any column value, means you have to select that particular one. Suppose I want to replace, in place of Canada, I want to replace it to CA. So that means select that particular cell value and click on replace it. Whenever you click on replace it, in replace with, you have to give the value what you to replace it. CA, I want to replace it. Give it, click on OK. Then automatically CA will be replaced in that. Wherever the Canada, in that particular column, wherever Canada values are there, in all those, it will be replaced to CA. Vijay, I have a doubt here. I want to replace only particular cell only. That it is not possible in Power BI. Okay, this option will be applied for complete column itself, not for a specific column, specific cell value like that. It is not possible. Understand? Next one is merged rows. This is very, very important topic in Power BI. Merged means if you want to get the column from another data set. Suppose I want to get the, suppose for example, I want to get the sum of COGS value column is there, right? This column, I want to get it into financial. If I want to do this operation means by using merge queries option only, we can do it. By using merge query option only, we can do all these things. Understand? Next one is in regular classes with the different examples, you will understand how it will be there and everything. Next one is append queries. What is append queries? Okay. Append queries is nothing but, okay, what is append queries will do? Append queries is nothing but if you want to combine multiple data sets into single data set. If you want to combine the rows of the multiple data sets into single data set, you have to use append. Suppose I have different data sets, is different data is there, but column names are so same in all the data sets. Then if you want to combine those things, then you have to use an option called append queries. But there are some rules will be there for append queries. Column names, data type must and should be same here. Then only this option append queries will works. Okay, understand? Okay, in practical example, I will show you in the regular class itself. Understand? Next one is transform data. In the transform data also, same most of the times, whatever options are there in home, those options are available. Extra thing is, if you want to move the column from left to right, to beginning to ending, suppose if you want to move the column from first column to second column, then click on right. Then see, it will be moved to the second column like that. That means if you want to move any operation, that means moving the column from one location to the another location, then we have to use more. Remaining options, see here, split column, we discuss it, and there are so many. And format option is there. That means if you want to convert into lowercase to uppercase, uppercase to lowercase, you have to use this option. Understand? So another one is merge columns. What is merge columns will do? Merge column means if you want to combine the multiple columns into a single column, you have to use merge column. So, okay, instead of coming in the middle of this thing, also in the transform data, we already discussed about the grouping. Okay, use first row as header also we already discussed in the home tab itself. Okay, and next one is transpose, means it is converting from rows to columns. You have to use transpose. Okay, reverse rows, any column you are selected, whichever column you are selected, the bottom value comes to the top value comes to the bottom, like that. By using reverse rows option only, we can perform it. Understand? Next one is count rows. Count rows means in a table, how many number of records are there? How can I say? Means by using this option. Click on this one. See here in this table, there are 700 records are there. By using that, we can easily identify it. That means, so what is the use of using this option? Means just for checking purpose, whether the data source, all the records are loaded into Power BI or not. We can just for checking purpose only, we can use it. Understand clearly or not? And data type means right, and everything. Detect data type means if you want to change the data type for all the columns once at a time, you have to use this detect data type option. Automatically it will convert it. If you want to rename the column name, if you want to change it, there are two ways. Double click on the column name, you can it is converted into editable mode, you can change the name. Or else by clicking on the rename option also, you can rename the column. Understand or not? Okay, next one is replace value. We already seen the replace values in home tab, right? Same option here also, it will be there. Next one is fill down and up. So in a particular column, wherever null values is there, above the null value, wherever not null value is there, that not null value will be replaced in place of null values. So those type of operation, if you want to perform it, means you have to use fill. Okay, next important topic is pivot and pivot. Pivot means converting rows to columns is called as pivot. Unpivot means converting from columns to rows. Suppose, for example, I want to convert these two columns. Select these two columns and click on unpivot option. Then automatically see here the segment for each record, segment column, for segment column, this is the first value. For product value, this is the first value. Segment, this is the second value. Product, this is the like this it will be. See here, previously it is column names, it is there. Now it is converted into rows, like that it will be there. Understand? If you want to that means if you want to move the column from one place to another place, you have to use move option, either left, right, beginning, ending, anything you can use it. Understand clearly or not? Next one is convert to list. Whichever column you are selected, so that column, if you want to convert it into list format, then you have to use convert to list option. Click on this one. Then only that particular column only it will show. Remaining columns will be removed. Understand clearly or not? Is it clear or not? Okay. Next one is split column. We already discussed the split column in home, right? Okay. Next one is format. That means if you want to converting in a lowercase letter up, lowercase means small letters. That means whichever column you are selected, in that column, each and every cell value will be converted into small letters. If you use uppercase means each and every cell value will be converted into uppercase letters, like this. Capitalize each word means in each and every cell. So each word starting letter would be a capital letter, remaining all are small letter. That like that it will be there. Trim, clean, prefix, add suffix. That means So if you want to add anything before the value, after end of the value, you have to use these options. Okay. Trim means removing the spaces. If you want to remove the spaces in a particular column itself, you have to use remove option. Next one is merge columns. What is merge columns? See, merge queries is different. In home tab, merge queries option is there. That it is different, and this merge columns is different. What is merge columns? Combining multiple columns into a single column. Combining multiple columns into a single column, you have to use merge queries. By default, merge columns option is in disable mode. Okay, if you want to enable this option, means you have to select more than one column, then only this option is enabled. Suppose I want to combine country and segment column. Select multiple columns. How you can select multiple columns? By using control plus click. Understand? Select that one. Then automatically see here, merge columns option is enabled or not. Like this. And click on this one. What will happen? See here, separator means delimiter. Okay. And click on this one. Then what will happen? See, those two columns are combined. See here, those two column values are combined. Okay, like this. If you want to combine a multiple columns into a single column, by using merge columns option, we can combine it. Understand? Next one is extract. If you want to extract a particular value or anything, you have to use this option. In this, there are different options. Is there length, first characters, last character. Length means in each and every cell, how many number of values are there, it will count and it will give the result. Suppose if I'm applying this option length, then see here for Canada, how many values are there? 6 characters are there. It will count and it will give that result 6. Length means in each and every cell, how many number of characters are there? It will count and it will give the result. Understand? Next, first characters means from the left side onwards, how many number of characters you want? You have to use this one. See here, I want 2 characters. That means in each and every cell, first 2 characters only it will display. See here. Understand clearly or not? Okay. So this is how you can do it. First characters, last characters, range of character, all the things here itself, it will works. Okay. And pairs, here it is XML JSON data will be there. That means suppose your data is there in XML or JSON, you can convert it into proper table. You have to use this XML JSON data. Okay, any of the option you can apply, but most of the times we cannot use this option. Okay, and next one is, if you select any particular numeric column, then statistic. If you want to calculate some min, max, average value, so you have to come here and click on the static option. Then automatically that particular value will be calculated. Suppose I'm selecting this column and click on this sum option. Then automatically the total sum of that particular column values, it will show it. Okay, just for checking purpose only, we have to use these options. Understand? Next one is standard. That means if you want to add to the each and every cell value, for each and every cell value, I want to add something. Add, multiply, subtract, divide, modulo, anything. Okay, anything you can do it here itself. Okay, understand? Suppose, for example, you are selecting any column and click on add, multiply, subtract, divide, or anything, you can do it here. Suppose if I click on add, then give like 5 and click on OK. Okay. So like this, we can calculate it. Understand? Next one is scientific trigonometric related. That means if you want to calculate any power related or else cube, square or anything. Suppose, see, this is the value it is there, right? Suppose cube square I want to perform it. That means for each and every cell value, square means each and every cell value multiplied with the 2 times. Same value is multiplied with the 2 times the square. Cube means 3 times it is same value is multiplied with 3. If you want to give with the different, then give power. Suppose I am giving 4 here, 4 or 5 something. The same value in each and every cell, say same value is multiplied with 4 times it is multiplied. Okay, that it is called as power. Understand clearly or not? Is it clear or not? This is how we can do it. So in trigonometric related, so there are sine, cosine, tangent. So most of the times in real time, we didn't use any trigonometric because we don't know exact value of that particular one, right? That's the reason we didn't use it. You know, sine 90 or else cos 90. You know it, but sine 10, what is the value? Sine 12, what is the value? Sine 12.5, what is the value? You don't know, right? Business users are accepting exact values. They are expecting exact values. That's the reason if, so most of the times we didn't use the trigonometric related operations. Understand? Next one is rounding. If you want to perform any round operation for decimal related column, then you have to use round option. Understand? That means suppose I have a decimal value is there. So for example, first decimal value I want to round it, or else second decimal place value I want to round it. Then you have to use rounding option. Understand clearly? Next one is information. Information is even, is or anything. That means if these information functions will returns either true or false. Either true or false. True means, that means, so in that particular column, whichever values are even numbers, those returns true. Otherwise returns false it is. Okay. That means, see here in this particular one, if I'm selecting this column and click on is even, wherever even numbers are there, for those it will returns true, or else it returns a false it is. Understand clearly or not? Okay. So like this, we can calculate this particular one. Understand or not? Okay. Next one is, see these rate related. Suppose if you select any particular date column, at that time only those options are enabled. See here, see in this date column, if you want to generate year one, or if you want to extract in this particular date column, what it is there, year is there, month is there, day is there, everything is there. Whichever you want to extract it, you have to select that particular option here itself. Understand clearly or not? Okay. R script and Python script is not required because those are separate thing. Because those, if you know the R and Python means you can create the models here itself. Understand? So next one is add column. In add column, that means in this add column, so if you want to, the first in the add column, the first option is column from examples. What is column from examples will do? Column from examples is nothing but, so whatever column you are selected, with that column, the default options will comes. The default options will comes here. Suppose I'm selecting profit column. Under profit column, suppose for example, from selection option I'm choosing. Either you can choose from selection or from column. From selection means whichever column you are selected, for that particular column only the default options will come. If from all columns means in the data set, whatever columns are there, for all the columns, default option will come set. That means this column from examples, by default, Power BI, that Power BI will generate a default option. If your output is there in that one, you have to select it. That's it. Automatically it will be. Suppose, for example, I'm selecting a date column here. In this date column, I want to, by using this date column, I want to generate a month name. Whatever month is there, I want to generate a month name. So in this, from selection, I'm clicking on this one. So whenever you click on from selection, so in this, in the first cell, you need to double click on the first cell itself. Then automatically for that particular date column, what are all the default options are there, you can see it here itself. In all these options, whichever option you required it, you have to select that one. Suppose, for example, I'm selecting January and click on this one. Double click on whichever option you required, you have to double click on that particular value. Then automatically that particular value will comes in the first cell itself. And after coming there, click on enter button in your keyboard. Click on enter button in your keyboard. Okay. Whenever you click on enter button in your keyboard, the same option, the same cell value option is applied for all the cells in that particular column. See here. And click on OK. Then, so that means it will create a new column. Okay. See here, for this value, June it will come set. That means in the first cell only you have to in the first cell only you have to choose the option. And after choosing an option, if you click on enter button in your keyboard, then all the that option is applied for all the cells in that particular column. See, that is the beauty of this particular option. Okay. Most of the times, all the options are available in this transform data. You no need to create any tags function if you know each and every option in the transform data. Understand? So next one is custom column. So if you want to create a custom column, okay, then you have to, that means by your own, I want to create a column. Suppose, for example, I want to combine the two columns. Then you have to see by using custom column, we can combine it. Suppose, for example, I want to combine month name and month name one. Okay. In between these two columns, you have to give double ampersand. Inside that, you have to give some delimiter here itself and click on OK. Then new column will be created. In that, what columns you can combine. See, not only that one, you can give a number of operations. We can do it in the custom column. But all the operation by using M language functions is there. By using those functions only, you can implement it. And all the functions are very easy to understand it. When you are going with a regular class, we will discuss all these things. Understand? Next one is invoke custom function. This is not at all required. This option is not at all required. Next one is conditional column. Conditional column means it is just like a, maybe you will use in previous skills itself, like if else if, like, or a switch or a looping, if or a switch you are using, right? So those we can use it in the condition. That means based on this condition, based on this column value, I want to generate a new thing. Suppose, for example, based on this month name column, I want to generate a month number. Then what you have to do? First, you have to select the column. Which column it is? Month name column. What operator it is? Whichever operator you want to select it, you have to select that operator and give the value in that particular column. Suppose you are selecting month number, right? So instead of month number, I'm selecting month name. Month name. In the month name column, if the value is January, okay, January, okay. If any value you are given in this particular value, and you need to give the output what you want to generate by using, see, in this particular month name column, wherever the January value is there, in place of January, what value you need to give? That value. Suppose I want to give 1. That means based on month name column, I want to generate a month number column. So then you have to use this option. Okay, next one like this. If you want to create more conditions means by clicking on add clause itself, you can create more conditions. And again, February, and what value? 2, like this you can generate what output you want on which column basis. By using conditional column only you can generate it. Suppose you have 5 conditions is there, up to 5, that means up to 5 minus 1 condition, that means for up to 4 conditions you have to give like this. Okay, last condition you can directly give the output in the else part itself. You can give the else part here itself. Okay, suppose for example, if you want to delete anything, means there are 3 dot buttons are there, right? Click on this one and click on delete it, and automatically that particular condition will be deleted. Like this, if any conditional related records is there, those you can apply it in the conditional column. Okay, next one is index column. Index means if you want to generating any that means sequential values. If you want to generate the sequential values for all the rows in the table, then you have to use an option called index column. In index column, you will have an option from 0, from 1, from custom and everything. Okay, so you have to use it. If it is from 0, from 0 means from first record onwards, the value need to give it. Okay, for all the records, it will generate a sequential value for that one. Understand? From 0. From 1 means from 1 onwards, it will generate the sequential value. If you want to generate our own value, then you have to use custom. See here, suppose I want to start from 1. And for each and every value, how much I need to add? Suppose I'm giving here 2. That means first value it is 1. Second value it is 3. Third value is 5, 7, like that. That means, so from the first value onwards up to the end, it will increment with the 2 value and it will generate it. Understand? Like this. Like this, we can generate the sequential values of any column. Means you have to use an option. Okay, if you want to create any duplicate of the column, means then we have to use select the column and click on duplicate. Then the copy of the column will be created. Suppose click on this one. See, the same copy of the column is created. Understand or not? So remaining options we already discussed it in the home tab and transform tab itself. Understand? This is completely about transform data. Okay, this is if you want to do any modifications on the data level in the transform data only, you can do it, because you cannot do it in the Power BI model. In this model itself, we cannot do all the operation here itself. So always you can perform all the modifications on the transform data only. Understand? Once the modifications are done, you can close that window. Then automatically again you will come to the model here itself. Okay. So in this model, okay, we need to discuss other topic is modeling part. Modeling means, so I told you, right, what is a modeling? Providing a relationship between the data set. Okay, if you want to provide a relationship between the data set means in the model only we can do it. Why we need to provide a relationship? We already discussed previously, because while we are showing the data in the visual level, if you take the column from different data set, then must and should you have to use a relationship between those data set. If you create a visual with one data, if you want to create a visual with one data set columns means relationship is not required. But if you so in real time scenarios, we need to use different column from different data set. Okay, at that time relationship is must and should required. So if you want to provide a relationship means in two ways we can provide a relationship. One is drag and drop. First you have to, before providing a relationship, common column is required. Common column is similar values. What is that? Similar values of the column. We need to choose it in those column names. So if it is same also it is accepted. If it is different name also it is accepted. But values must and should be similar. Understand or not? After that, you have to choose that column, drag and drop that column in between that one. Then automatically see the relation will happens in between the data set. Okay, if it is a, see here in relationship there are two types of lines will be there. One is thick line will be there, one is dotted line will be there. Okay, thick line we can call it as active line. Dotted lines we can call it as inactive line. So if the relationship is dotted line means we cannot do any operation. Always you can make the relationship as active only. With the active only we can do all the operations. Understand or not? Is it clear or not? This is how we can. Suppose, for example, if I want to delete any particular relationship means mouse over to that particular line, right click on that particular line itself, click on delete option. When you click on delete option, then automatically that line will be deleted. See here. Suppose, for example, if you want to provide a relationship, means just to drag and drop the columns. That's it. Then automatically. Suppose, for example, I want to edit in the relationship itself. I want to modify something. Then what you have to do? Double click on that line. It will new window will open. In this window itself, suppose, for example, I will give with a different common column. Then you have to come here, and whichever column you want, you can select that one and click on OK like this. If you want to modify any particular relationship means mouse over to that particular line, double click on that one. Then on the window will open. In that window, what options you want to change it, you can change it, you can apply it. Understand? Suppose, and see here I'm selecting a proper common column between the data sets. Okay, after choosing a common column, cardinality is the very important option. This you didn't choose this option. Okay, automatically Power BI will choose it. How the Power BI will choose this option? Whichever common columns you are selected, based on the common column values, this cardinality will be set. That means many to one means many option will available for this common column. One option will works for this common column. Understand or not? Many will works for this common column, one for this common column. See, when many will come, see, in this cardinality, there are different types will be there. Many to one, one to one, one to many is there. If it is many to one means the first common column contains, if any duplicate values are there, then it will take it as a many. If any common column contains a duplicate means any value, same value is repeating more than one time. Those we can call it as duplicate. Understand or not? So if any common column contains a duplicate values are there, those it will take it as many. If any common column contains a distinct values or unique values, those we can take, those it will take it as one. Understand? Suppose for example 1 to 1 means both the common columns contains a distinct values. Okay, if this cardinality is completely related to common columns only, not for any other columns. Okay, 1 to many means first table common column contains a distinct values, second table common column contains a duplicate values, that is 1 to many. Many to many means both common column contains a duplicate values, is called as many to many. Next one is cross filter direction. So in which direction? Suppose here, see here how the direction will be there. From here to here, the direction is in the center one, you will see the direction, right? There are two types of directions, single and both. In which direction it is there? In that direction only column values are filtered in the visual level. Okay, in regular classes, I will practically show you with example. Okay, in that direction only filter will happens. In both direction means both the directions the filter will happens. Okay, that cross filter direction you can change it, but cardinality you cannot change it. Understand or not? And in this, whether the relationship is active or not, you can check it here. See here, if it is checked, that means the relationship is active. If it is unchecked, see, active means thick line will be there. Inactive means dotted line will be there. So if I uncheck this one, then dotted line will happen in between the data. See here, dotted line will be there. Understand? So see here, this star is nothing but many. One is nothing. That means cardinality related. These are the one. Okay. But here it is, here we cannot show like MANY like that, right? ONE1 like that, right? So that's the reason they are giving like icons, like a star means many, one means one. Understand? In both the common columns, 1 to many means first table common column contains duplicate values, second table common column contains unique values. Understand or not? This is how we can provide a relationship between the data set. Relationship is very important. Okay, when you give a proper relationship, then only based on that in the visualization it will works like that only. Understand? While you are giving a proper relationship only, the visualizations will work properly. Otherwise, it is not showing correct values. Understand or not? In this model, not only providing a relationship, we can hide or unhide the columns also. Suppose, for example, if some columns only we can use it, some columns we didn't use it. Okay, then what you want to do? Instead of removing the columns, you can hide the columns also, you can do it. How you can hide the columns in Power BI? See, there is an option in the model. You will have an, see here, whenever you mouse over to that particular column. Okay, so there is an eye icon will be there. Click on this one. When you click on this eye icon, that means this column is hidden. See, this is the hidden symbol. So whatever column you are hidden here, this related column, you cannot see it in the report tab. In the report tab, when you go to this particular financial, see, you cannot see the sales value here itself. See here, you cannot see the sales value because the column is hidden like this. If you want to unhide this means, again you need to come here and click on this one. Again, the column is hidden. Once the column is unhidden, then you can see that particular column here itself. See here, the column is visible. Okay, otherwise it is hidden. So Vijay, can we hide multiple columns once at a time? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. By using control plus click, you can select multiple columns like this. And by using control plus click, you can select multiple columns and click on this I symbol. Then automatically whichever columns you are selected, those columns it will be hidden. Understand clearly or not? This is how we can hide the columns also. We can do it here. Okay. So this is how we can hide or unhide the columns. We can do it. And say, okay. So that means transform data model part, it is completed. Next week workshop having like DAX functions, visualizations will be there. Those are very interesting, and DAX functions are very, very easy method. I will show you in the next workshop. DAX functions, visualizations will be there. Who are interested to join, you can go and join in that particular workshop. Okay, so we can stop it here. Anyone having any doubts, you can ask me. That's it. In the chat itself, you guys can ask me so that I can reply to those. Yeah, tell me, Om Prakash. Because directly, see, there is no option to ask unmuted. Can you please being in the chart itself so that I can view the thing? Allowed to talk. Yeah, you tell me. You can unmute it and you can speak it out. Or else you can chat it in the chat box itself so that I can see each and everything there itself. Yeah, but I cannot unmute this one here. If anyone ping me in the chat so that I can reply that one. I already did this one, but I am not able to ask to unmute it. One second, I will check with the team. Sir, all questions are down. Not చేయలేకపోతున్నాను all voice embedded. Attendees. Hand. అది నేను పెట్టాను ఆస్క్ టు అన్మ్యూట్ అని. ఓకే. Now you can.
Hello, sir.
Sahu. Yeah, tell me, Sahu.
Yeah, sir, just need to know that, sir, my chat is not working well.
I'm not able to hear your voice, Sahu.
Am I audible now, sir?
1 second. 1 second. I will join in the mobile itself. This is not.
Sir, can you share the course syllabus, sir?
Excuse me, can you hear me?
Tell me.
Excuse me, sir, can you hear me? Excuse me, sir, can you hear me?
సరే వాళ్ళ అన్మ్యూట్ చేసిన నా వాయిస్ నాకు అసలు వినిపించట్లేదు సార్.
ఓకేలేండి, ఇప్పుడు వినిపిస్తుంది. Yeah, tell me. Are you able to hear my voice or not? Hello, Suresh. Yeah, tell me, Suresh. Hello. Anyone, and now you can unmute it and you can ask the questions. Hello. Am I audible or not? Yeah, tell me, Mohammed.
Sir, I was not listening the total class. Can you share me this video?
I think Naresh IT team will provide it to you. Okay, don't worry. They will provide. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Anything is there, Mohammed? Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me, Srinivas.
Sir, may I know the course fees and
That you need to check with the Naresh IT team. I'm not the responsible of this. Okay.
sir, will you teach SQL also?
SQL, it would be separate. That means SQL only 1 or 2 classes only I will explain to you, but not completely. Okay. If you want to go with the SQL Server completely means maybe next week the new batches is going on for SQL Server. You have to join in that my class itself. Understand? You know?
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
Hello,
you.
sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, sir. Sir, actually, my question is how to create tables. Means, suppose I have putting some rows and columns. So, what is the rows and what is the columns? Means, straight is the rows and
Yeah. Yeah. See here.
particular is the columns. Yeah.
Are you able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
See here. See, these are the column, okay? Column name. Under the column, these are the values. These are rows. That means for this complete row, one row, okay? This is another row, but this is a column, okay? Understand clearly?
Yes, sir. So suppose, but sir, whenever I am using Tableau, that time separate column, separate row, and drag and drop. And here is what type of tables? If suppose we are creating one tables, yeah, rows, but there is some available some set like. So how can you create pie chart, yeah, tables?
Yeah. See, in everything, see, once the table is available here, by using visualization concept, okay, just you need to take that particular visual and drag and drop the columns here itself. Suppose, for example,
Yeah.
see here, I'm using a chart here, okay?
Yeah.
In this chart itself, what columns you want to put it in that particular chart, you have to decide it and put it there itself. Suppose, for example, country column in the x-axis and the sales column in the y-axis.
Okay, okay. X has 6 and Y axis I will use.
Yeah. Like this, you can give it.
Okay. So, don't need to data and data add, that not need.
See, no need here. Just to drag and drop. That's it.
Okay, X axis and Y axis. Like
Yeah.
Tableau X column and Y column that like use. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir. Just need to know that in that particular relationship, is that the relationship is dynamically be assigned, or we supposed to provide the relationship in our end?
Yeah, very good question, Saho. Okay, that means, so suppose for example, you have like 3 tables are there.
Yes.
Whenever it is 3 tables are there, sometimes Power BI will automatically provide a relationship between the data set with the common column. Suppose, for example, how it is provided means, suppose in one table, one character value column is there, another are all are numeric related values. Okay.
Yes.
So in this table also, one character related column is there, another are all are like numeric values will be there. So character related, if it is matches means in Power BI, whenever it is stored the memory, is that a similar values are there in character, directly it will provide it. Suppose multiple characters columns are there, multiple numeric column, multiple data. They don't. That means at that time they cannot provide a directly relationship between the data set, because with what character related columns we can provide it or date related columns we can provide it, they don't know, right? That's the reason they didn't give
the data type will be mismatched.
Yeah. That's the reason. At that time, we need to provide a relationship. Sometimes they will provide a relationship. How it will be there? Suppose only character, only numeric. At that time, automatically it will provide a relationship. Understand?
Okay. Yeah, I understand. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Next one, Sujit. If who are clear the doubts means they down their hands. Okay.
Not able to unmute, so.
Oh, okay. Mohammed, please. So much of disturbance came from your end. Please clear that one. Okay. You are unmuting and showing all this. Yeah. Sahu, you can, if you want, you can leave also. And one more thing is, I will share the document to you guys for initial document. You can go through how you can install and everything that we can do with everything. That I will share the document to you.
Sir, actually, I have downloaded and installed way back. So, sir, do I need to reinstall that?
Yes, you can do it. Yeah.
Sir, actually, some of the features lacking. So that is why I'm asking, sir. I have to uninstall or just
No need here. If you install it, then automatically it will be replaced. Okay.
okay, just need to update.
Yeah, just need to. It automatically updated. Don't worry about that.
Okay, sir.
Any other questions, remaining people? You can unmute in and ask questions.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi. Yes. This is Ahmed. I'm just I attended this one, and I'm asking regarding the main class.